I guess beauty really is pain. Hey guys, it's Jess from She's the Posh. Welcome back, and today I have a nice fun article for you where we're gonna talk about 10 outrageous ways and things and products that women use throughout the decades and centuries to be beautiful. I make videos anytime I want, so please remember to hit subscribe below and ring my bell so we can become best friends here on the internet. Okay guys, I got another one of my fun articles for you, and I've been having a lot of fun on TikTok recently where I'm just kind of talking about morbid fashion. So that's kind of why I'm trying this out on YouTube. I kind of want to stand out from the crowd. I want to do things that are different. So I hope you'll stick around. But I really enjoy doing these commentaries with these articles, going over the history with you, and just having some fun with fashion and not being super serious all the time. So I hope that this entertains you and you enjoy the content that I have moving forward. Article here is 10 outrageous ways women have suffered to be beautiful. And this is by M.L. Gabrielle. So this I found so interesting because it just kind of goes through the history, and I have actually shared some of these pieces. I knew about some of them, and some of them I didn't know. So basically I'm gonna share these with you, see if you knew them, my opinions on them, and some of the history that I do know on these particular items. So we're just gonna have fun, and let me know if you would have done this. Some of this stuff could result in death, so let me know if any of these beauty treatments you would have done if you were around then, and if it would do you in. Okay, let's have some fun. So the first one is the Geisha Facial. So geishas are popular in Japan. They're still around. There are young women. They usually do performances and different things like that, and they absolutely look so beautiful, and they're known for the white porcelain skin. I remember my mom had some geisha dolls that she really loved, that some of her prized possessions that she got that came right from Japan. They have some beauty secrets that they use that are still used today, and celebrities have endorsed this particular beauty treatment, and that is the Nightingale Excrement Facial. Yes, poop. They put bird poop on their faces. So this treatment is said to help to brighten and lighten the skin, get that porcelain look. And Victoria Beckham has sworn by this facial that it works, it's amazing, and I'm assuming it doesn't smell bad, but for me, I don't know if I could get past putting poop on my face, but it has to be Nightingale poop. It's like a certain kind of poop, so don't go rubbing your faces on your cars or anything like that, trying to put some bird poop on your face. So let me know, would you do this one? Next, we have a weight loss treatment. So back in the Victorian era, there was ideal body type that women wanted to have. They really wanted to have a very slim, slender build, and they wanted to have really pale, light skin, because if you have pale skin, that meant that you didn't work out in the field. To get that really skinny build, they had these crazy diets. And one of these diets is this one right here, the tapeworm diet. Like, you would swallow a tapeworm egg, and the tapeworm would eat all the nutrition from you. Like, literally, they said you can eat whatever you want and you'll stay skinny. Like, however, the tapeworm will also strangle your organs, all that stuff. Obviously, you should not swallow a tapeworm. And this was a diet that was like sold in the general stores. Like, that is insane. I don't think I would ever do this because, first of all, like, bugs and stuff like that, I would not be eating no bugs, swallowing things. I just don't think I would want a worm inside my body. So let me know if you would have done this. Next, we have arsenic, guys. So I had shared on my TikTok that Sears actually had an arsenic wafer. So they used it as a beauty treatment. So Sears sold the arsenic wafer, and basically what they used this for, it was a wafer that you just nibbled on, but it gave you that pale, sickly skin and helped keep you skinny. It was another diet that the Victorian era women would like to try to use to keep that slender build and to keep that pale, almost sickly looking skin. So it didn't kill you, but it made it look like you're being killed. Obviously, you should never poison your body for beauty, but yet Sears was selling this. Next, hair removal that was used in, I believe this was the early 1900s, guys. Ever since even the Renaissance era, people and women have and men have been trying to get rid of that pesky unwanted hair. So this was something that they used, a newer technology, and that was X-ray technology to get rid of hair. So have you ever heard of radiation treatment? Sometimes they use radiation to shrink cancer cells. So what is one of those byproducts of radiation is the fact that your hair will fall out. So they thought that, oh my goodness, this would be perfect hair removal service to get rid of that pesky hair. And here they are just slowly poisoning their bodies, mutating their cells. So yeah, you could have had painless hair removal, except it came with a side of cancer, guys. Can you believe? Like, if you look at this picture, this just looks so scary and torturous. Next, we have a eye drop, and this is called the Belladonna Eye Drop. So this was in the Renaissance time in Italy. And guys, this eye drop was used to dilate the pupil, because having a dilated pupil was like really sexy. It meant that you were like into it, whoever you're like looking at. I know I saw things on TikToks where like women were like, oh, think of some person you love, and if your pupils dilate, that means you like really love them, that kind of thing. So women, we gotta figure out how to fake everything apparently, and we use these eye drops, and men didn't know the difference, thought we were totally into them when maybe we weren't. Now, Belladonna eye drops are actually still used today to dilate your pupil. It's used very sparingly, and it's not going to poison you or kill you or hurt you in these low doses that they use nowadays. But if you've ever had your pupil dilated, you've had the poison Belladonna. However, women were not just using it every once in a while, they were using it on the daily. At very little, they would have gone blind and had irritation from these drops. But if they were poisoning themselves enough, it would result in death. So guys, would you use these drops? Would you? I don't think I would. I don't think I'd want to put anything in my eyeballs. So I would think I would be okay from this one. Now here's a good one that would have done me in. Ever since like the Egyptian era all the way up until like the 18th century, women were wearing makeup, men were also wearing makeup, and this makeup contained lead, guys. And lead is obviously not good for you. We've heard about like lead paint being scraped, all this stuff. It is a poison that they were putting directly on their skin. And especially in like the Elizabethan period and Renaissance and all that stuff, they were actually painting their skin with lead paint, which caused their hair to fall out and poison to happen to their body. They would get super sick. There's even accounts of children dying because of the lead makeup that their mom used to wear all the time. So because their hair was falling out, that's why people were wearing the wigs to kind of cover the fact that they were poisoning their body. Even though people knew this was harmful, people still did it. So luckily there's no lead in our makeup now, but yeah, I think this would totally do me in, because I really like a good makeup and fashion trend. But man, it would suck not to have my hair, and I don't think I'd want to wear a wig. Next, we have the corsets. Okay, guys, so I know this has like become like a fad recently, where you do waist training, where you wear the corsets after a workout or during a workout for so many hours, and it gives you that hourglass figure. So this was actually kind of a deadly practice back when it was at its heyday. It actually got kind of out of fashion after the Victorian era, when tuberculosis was huge. Basically, women wear the corsets, but they weren't just wearing it for 6 hours and doing exercise and a healthy diet. They were wearing it all the time. So this actually caused a lot of health problems. If you see in this picture, like they're literally squishing all their organs in together. So there was times when sometimes the boning of the actual corset itself would break and puncture the skin, kill someone that way, stab a lung or anything like that. But also it caused like constipation, it caused illness and a lot of organ complications, as well as back problems, because you were never supporting your back because you were just wearing a corset all the time. And it actually got out of fashion because you had trouble breathing from these super tight corsets, that when tuberculosis was being spread, the corsets were getting blamed for women dying because they couldn't catch their breath. They were having trouble breathing, and because they wore the corsets for so long, they had damage to their lungs, and they were permanently squished in that beautiful hourglass shape, so they weren't able to fight off the disease. So yeah, I guess it's okay to use it sparingly, but I don't think I'm gonna be waist training anytime soon. This next one, this footwear. You think your shoes are painful? Wait until you see this. So we have the Lotus Shoe. And this was very popular in China. It got banned in 1912, but basically women, when they were children, I don't really feel like many women had a choice with this, especially if you're a child and you're binding your feet. So basically they bind their foot from being a child, and it stops it from growing bigger. However, you end up with this like really disgusting club foot. I'm not going to show the pictures here, but trust me, you don't want to see this with the shoe off. Basically, you're breaking the bone, you're molding the foot in a way it shouldn't be molded to. And this was considered beautiful. And I read some stuff on this, and it was kind of disturbing. The reason that this was so popular is men loved it for a few reasons. It wasn't something that women wanted to do. Women did it to be attractive to men, to be able to get married, and you were considered like highborn if you had this foot binding procedure done in your family. So it's just something that women were kind of forced to do for men, and they actually loved it because it forced women to walk slower, right? So it slowed us down, we had to walk slower, and apparently it kind of changed the woman's body because the way she had to walk, she ended up having like wider hips, and they even said that men found it more pleasurable because of the shape and the toll it did on the body, that everything down there remained very, very tight. So it was all about a men's pleasure. And this was a super painful procedure that did result in death because you're literally breaking the bone, and you would get gangrene and infections, and sepsis would happen, and they literally would die from this foot binding. Thank goodness it's out of practice, out of fashion, but like, oh my gosh, guys, isn't that kind of disgusting? You thought your shoes were painful. Now, we talked all about the lead paint and the causes of it, accidentally killing our children with the lead paint, and then also losing our hair. Well, what did we do? We wore wigs, right? So they used lard to glue the wig onto your head so it stayed on there. So what did that cause? Well, obviously that kind of lard would attract bugs, and those bugs would also attract rats and different things like that. So obviously you could die from your wig because of the bug bites that you would attract, also getting bit by a rat or the fleas. The actual bubonic plague was actually spread by, they believe, rats get all the bad rap and fleas get all the bad rap, but usually they now believe that it was human lice and those kind of bugs and things on fabrics that actually spread the bubonic plague. So wigs probably had a big thing to do with this as well. And they actually invented these like cages that you could put on your head to protect your head from rats. Like, guys, like there's gotta be a point where like people are like, no, I'm out. We got bugs, we got rats, we got smelliness, we got bubonic plagues, but yet people still did it. That's why they powdered the wigs so much to try to mask all that. Oh, and last, we have something that I never even heard of. So this is something I think you can get in the Netherlands, and I think you can still get it then, but this was like a weird fashion that was around in the early 2000s. And this was like an eye implant. So do you remember in the early 2000s, like how you would go to the tanning bed and they would say, oh, do you want a sticker? And you could get like the Playboy bunny sticker, you could get a heart sticker, all that stuff. So when you tanned and you took it off, you'd have that little cute heart and stuff like that. They had this same thing, but in your eyeball. So people would get like hearts in their eyeballs, a star, like an implant. And apparently it was safe. And basically they just peeled back a thin layer. Oh, it's eyeballs, man. Thin layer of your eye and stuck the implant in and put it over, and you were cool. You could see it's not gonna move, but you can't tell me it's not gonna move. Luckily, this is banned in most other countries. It never came to the US, it never became a fad here, so no one does that except in the Netherlands. But I know beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, but I don't see myself putting hearts in my eyeballs. I just don't see that eyeball jewelry becoming a thing ever. Okay guys, that is everything. Let me know what you thought of this video. Which one of these would have done you in? Would you have tried? And which ones you're like, no. I draw a line. For me, it's the lard wigs, man. I would rather be bald. I'll wear my lead makeup and I will be bald than be dealing with rats and bugs and stuff crawling around my hair. And as always, I want to thank you so much for watching and hope to see you again. Bye guys.